Hi, this is Uma Raj and welcome to Excel functions in less than 15 minutes. Today we will learn a text function called substitute. I have posted a link to a video on replace function in the description box below for your reference. Replace and substitute are similar functions in Excel. And substitute replaces a specified set of characters with a different set of characters in a text or string. It can replace all occurrences or a specified instance of the old text specified by the function. And the syntax of substitute is substitute text, that is where you want to make the change, the old text, that is what you want to remove or replace, and the new text, that is what is replacing the old text, and the instance number limits the substitute replacement to one particular instance of the old text, and it is an optional argument, and if it is not supplied then all occurrences will be replaced. And substitute is a case sensitive and it does not support any wildcards. And in our first example, we want to replace the month May with June for this deadline on a project, for example. So how we will do that? So we just want to replace all occurrences of May, so we don't supply any instant number here in this function. So substitute, double click, your text or the cell reference where your text is, that is B9. Your old text is May, we want to replace May, and your new text is June. We are replacing May with June, and we want to replace all occurrences if any, so we don't supply any instance number here, so we'll just close the function and enter. And the project is due on June 15, 2020 instead of the project is due on May 15, 2020. And in the next example, we want to make a correction to the second occurrence of Mary because it is spelled wrong for the second name. It is instead of M-A-R-Y, we want to correct it to M-A-R-I-E. So we can use substitute to do that. Equal to substitute. Your text string is B10. Your old value is M-A-R-Y. You want to replace it. Sorry, it has to be exact. M-A-R-Y. You are replacing it with M-A-R-I-E, and we are replacing only the second name. The first one is correct, only the second Mary is going to be changed here. So we will supply the instance number as 2 and complete the function, enter, and the second name is changed from M-A-R-Y to M-A-R-I-E. And in our next example, this is a phone number and we have used underscore and we want to replace that underscore with dashes. So we will use substitute. Your text is in B11 and our old text is underscore and we want to replace with all occurrences. So we will not give any instance number here. We want to supply it with the dash and enter, and all the underscores are now changed into dashes. And in the next example, we have an erroneous / at the end of the year field, and we want to remove that and replace it with nothing, and we want to keep the first two / between the month and the date and the year. So we can use substitute for that. Equal to substitute B12, and our old text is that / and we are replacing it with nothing. So that is just a double quotes with nothing in between. So it will just remove that and it replaces it with nothing. And we want to replace only the third occurrence of that /. So the instance number is 3, and when you enter, it will remove that last forward slash in the field and keeps the other two forward slashes. In the next example, we are changing a monetary value, which is using a dot for the thousand separator and a comma for the decimal place. This kind of notation is widely used in European countries. So we will change the thousand separator from a dot to a comma, and the comma used here as the decimal point to a dot here. So we are going to use two substitute function, and in the first substitute function, the inner substitute function, we will change the dot into a comma and then wrap that text inside another substitute function to change the comma here used as the decimal point to a dot. So we will do this in two different steps to make it more clear. So in the first substitute, we are going to use the text is our value here in B13, and the old text we are going to replace that dot. So we will, old text is a dot, comma, and our new text is a comma, and either you can use 1 because we are going to change the first instance, or you can just skip that. Click OK, and the text is now changed into 10, 200, 45. And in the next substitute, we are going to change the second comma here into a dot to make the decimal point a dot. So we will again do another substitute and wrap this text here, and we are going to change now our old text is the comma, then a comma to separate that, and our new text is a dot, and we are going to change the second occurrence. So 2, close parenthesis and enter, and now it changed into 10, 200 and 0.45. So this is still a text, and if you want to convert it into a number, either you can use a value function, value, and enclose this one inside a value function, or you can do a simple math operation which will not change the value, like adding a +0 or multiply it with 1. So we will just add a 0 to this, and you can change it into a number. So the text was left aligned, now it changed into a number and it moved to the right. And in our last example, we are interested in finding how many words are there in this cell, and the way you are going to find is you are going to find how many spaces are there in this text, and we will add just 1 to find the number of words. That is because if you have 1 space, you have 2 words. If you have 2 spaces, you have 3 words, etc. And we are assuming that there are no erroneous spaces at the beginning or the end of the text. And the function here is, we are using a different function along with the substitute function, and that function is called a len function, which returns the number of characters in a cell or in a text. So we will find the number of characters with the spaces, and then we will remove the spaces and find the number of characters without the spaces, and then we will just add 1 to find the number of words. So we will also do this in different steps to make it more clear. So in the first step, we are going to remove all the spaces. So we are going to select this text, and we are replacing all the spaces, space, and our new text is nothing, that means just the double quotes, and we are going to change all the spaces into nothing, so we don't need to give any instances. So we are just going to enclose this and enter. So all the spaces are now removed from this string or text. And in the Next we will find how many characters are this in this string by using the len function. So len, and the text is this one, and there are 33 characters in that text. Now we will find how many characters are there with the spaces, and it is 40. Now we will subtract this one from this. That means we will find the number of spaces in the text equal to this one minus. Okay, now we find that there are 7 spaces in this string, and now we will add just 1 to find the number of words in this text. So plus 1, that is the last step, and we found 8. So that is what we did in this long function here, len b14 minus len, then we will change, move, remove, replaced all the spaces with nothing, and then find the number of characters, and then just added 1 to that. So in this tutorial we just looked at different ways you can use substitute to replace a string of characters with another string of characters. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe, and we will see soon with another Excel function. And in the meanwhile, play with Excel and practice, and thank you for watching.